When this sister gave birth to a son, she passed away, leaving her twin sister to raise the child. Years later, for an unexpected reason, this youngster made all the doctors bow their heads. There are so many excellent things that come in pairs. The greatest of all, though, are a pair of twins. The story of the twins in today's video will remain with you for quite some time. Not before. Chloe and Claire, you see, were the epitome of wonder twins. Many people assume that the more alike twins look, the closer they are. But that's not totally accurate. They weren't all the same in this story. She was larger and heavier than Claire, and she even acted older. She was fiercely protective of her twin sister and made sure she was safe. As a result, Claire adopted a carefree attitude about life, knowing that her older sister would always come to her aid, but it would be up to her to save her sister one day. Is she capable of handling the situation? Chloe and Claire's parents made sure they got the most out of their limited resources. Theirs was a beautiful little family. However, disaster struck one night. The family had just finished supper, so Claire and Chloe, all 17, went upstairs to watch a movie with Sarah and Wilson, and these girls were downstairs in their room playing a video game when the sound of a gunshot suddenly filled the air. They were terrified, and they could feel their entire body jump without moving. Chloe took Claire's hand and brought her to the living room after a few more minutes. Will had no signs of life when they got out, laying hopelessly on the floor beside their parents, and Sarah was already comatose. Chloe described Mom and Dad as being in a pool of their own blood. Sarah was transported into the emergency unit after the girls called for an ambulance. The doctor called him into his office later that evening to inform him that Sarah had also died. There were many tears, regrets, and tremendous suffering. Chloe promised the same day that she would never abandon her sister. When the girls were 25, Chloe met a man who made their lives easier and happier. Unfortunately, it was short-lived when Chloe became pregnant and informed him that this man had departed without even saying goodbye. But these sisters had already been through a lot, and they didn't let it bother them. They kept a smile on their faces throughout the storm. Chloe died after childbirth, leaving her son Kyle in the care of her trusted twin sister. Claire's motherly instinct took over when she cradled the small boy in her arms. Doctors and nurses who were aware of their plight also contributed monetarily. Claire even launched a YouTube account and began making money from it. She adored the boy with all of her heart and wished to make her sister proud. Kyle had already turned 11 and was one of the best students in his class before Claire realized it. He was laid back and pleasant. Everyone admired him for his generosity and good nature. But shortly after, a man entered into their lives. His name was Adam, and he was Kyle's teacher. He helped him with his studies, and Kyle seemed to love him a lot and was actually grateful to him. One day, Claire received an unexpected message on Facebook from Adam and couldn't believe her own eyes. He actually was asking about Kyle, and Claire responded to his message, so they talked late into the night, and the two went on a date the next weekend. Kyle even assisted Claire in selecting an outfit. Their bond became stronger, and Claire was relieved that Kyle would finally have a father he admired and adored. Adam was actually intending to propose to her, and Kyle had previously been informed, so the two had prepared a surprise for her. Unfortunately, their lives had come to a halt the day before, on a Friday when Clara dropped him at school and when Kyle was in class, when he fell out of his chair and passed out. He was immediately admitted to the hospital, and sadly, the doctor informed them that he was diagnosed with a stage 5 brain tumor and was given only a few months to live. They were devastated, but Claire and Adams invited Kyle to write a wish list for the following few months, and they did everything they could to fulfill it. Claire would always excuse herself and hide in a corner, crying her eyes out throughout this time. Kyle became bedridden after a few months, and doctors declared him brain dead. Following the 6-hour procedure, the doctors bowed in front of the boy's body in this photograph. They were full of admiration and respect. Claire remained a shadow of herself for the next few years, and Adam stood at her side through it all. Years later, this couple had a baby girl, whose name you may probably guess. Chloe will learn about her heroic big brother, who had the kindest heart humanity has ever known, when she grows older, at the tender age of 11. What is the biggest sacrifice you've ever made for someone else? How would you handle it if something like this occurred in your life? Share with us your thoughts and feelings about this story in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.